Hi dear students, welcome to my class. This for 10th standard. This is video for 10th standard. The chapter is acid, base and salt. Acids, base and salts. Right now. So in the last class we have discussed about the some chemical properties of the these acids and bases. In this class I am going to discuss the questions in the exercise of the chapter page number 18. Page number 18. So in that page number 18, the first question like this: you have been provided with three test tubes. We have three test tubes. So now we have three test tubes. Yes, three test tubes. One of them contains distilled water. This is distilled water. DW means distilled water. Distilled water. And the other two contains acidic solution and basic solutions. Acidic and basic solutions. We don't know. Randomly I am taking one of the. We have three test tubes. In the three test tubes, one is distilled water, another one is acidic solution, and one more is basic solutions. Okay. If you are given the red litmus paper only, how will you identify the contents of the each test tube? So I am giving to you red litmus paper. Red litmus paper. Okay, Nama. So the tricks BRA and blue litmus paper turns to red, we call as acidic. RBB. Red litmus paper changes into blue. So that is a basic in nature. So first take these test tubes. Take a red litmus paper. Take a red litmus paper. Dip in the all the one by one all the test tubes. In which test tube? In which test tube this red litmus paper will change into blue, that we call as basic solutions. That means basic in nature. Simple ma. When a red litmus paper changes into blue, that we considered as a basic in nature. Basic in nature. And the next is when blue litmus paper change into red color, then we identify or mentioned as acidic in nature. So one more is there now. How can we identify this distilled water? That means there is no change in red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. That is we identified as distilled water. Okay. The next questions, page number 22. In that first questions, why should curd and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels? Why should curd and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels? Because these brass and copper metals, right? So these are metals. These are metals. And here one more thing. So these are curd and sour. This curd and sour consider acidic in nature. So taste. Acids are sour in taste. Bases are bitter in taste. This curd also acidic in nature. When this acid reacts with the metal, it will produce a salt and so see the reactions. Metal reacts with acid. Salt acid, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. Salt and hydrogen gas. When this metal, these brass and copper metals reacts with this curd and sour, it will causes this hydrogen. That means food will be poisoned or spoiled. So and also produces some poisonous gases. That's why you have to don't keep the this curd and sour substances in copper and brass vessels. The next question. Which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with metal? I already discussed this, the same point. Yeah, the metal. Illustrate with the example. How will you test the presence of this gas? So first I am going to take a metal. If you are taking simple, that is copper or zinc metal. So this reacts with the acid, that is HCl. Okay, na? This zinc is reacts with HCl. So what is the product? So in this what we see, the gas is hydrogen gas is liberated. Here H2 is there now, that's why the balancing purpose I am taking a 2 here. Okay na? So here 2H is there, here 2H is there, balanced. So the salt you have to identify that salt is CuCl2, copper chloride. When metals reacts with acid, it produces a hydrogen gas. This is very very important. Hydrogen gas is very. So in this also zinc reacts with HCl. Here also we produce a salt ZnCl2 and hydrogen gas. Because of the balancing purpose, I am going to take coefficient 2 and here 2H, 2H, 2Cl, 2Cl, Zn, Zn, the balance. Okay na? So the hydrogen gas is liberated. The first question, which gas is liberated? That means this is a hydrogen gas is liberated. I am illustrated with 2 examples. So next is how will you test the presence of this gas? How can you identify it is a hydrogen gas or any other gases? If you put the flame, to this hydrogen gas, it creates the pop sound. It creates pop sound. When you touch when you place the burning flame to this hydrogen gases, it creates the pop sound. Then only we can find out this presence of hydrogen gas. So next is third question. A metal compound. It is a metal compound A. I am considering that compound is A. So reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid. That hydrochloric acid formula is HCl, right? So to produce efflorescence means like bubblings. When you open the cold drinks bottles right now, the inside the bottle, if you observe carefully, the air bubbles comes out right now. Like this, we have to see the efflorescence in the test tubes. So a metal compound A reacts with hydrochloric acid, it produces efflorescence. Okay. The gas evolved is extinguishes a burning candle. So write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compounds formed is calcium chloride. See. So they told HCl. Okay, now dilute HCl. Okay. So the next is product is calcium chloride. They told 2 simple techniques. So calcium chloride na CaCl2, calcium chloride. So the compound A, which one? So the compound is calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So let's see here one Ca is there, here one Ca is there. So calcium atoms are balanced. Next we have to observe the Cl. Here 2 Cls are there, here only 1 Cl is there. So that's why I am taking 2 as a coefficient. 2 as coefficients. Now 2 Cl, 2 Cl balance. Now remaining products. Here 2H is there na. Okay na, there is no H. Here C is there is no C. And also O is 3 and there is no in the product side. That's why the products is like this. In this CO2, carbon dioxide, and H2O. So this is the balanced chemical reaction. The compound is A, calcium carbonate. So let's check once it is balanced or not. Easy check. Here Ca is there, here one Ca is there. Ca calcium atoms are balanced. Next here one carbon is there and here also one carbon is there. Carbon atoms are balanced. Next oxygen atoms. In reactant side we have 3 oxygen atoms. How many? 3 oxygen atoms. Let's check once in product side. Here 2 and here 1. 3 balance. Next is hydrogen. Here 2H and here also 2H. Here 2Cl and here also 2Cl. Now the reaction is balanced. This is the answer for this third question. The metal compound A is calcium carbonate. This calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid. It will produce the calcium chloride and carbon dioxide and waters. Okay na? So the next is next move on to the page number 25. 25. In that first question, why do HCl and HNO3? Why do HCl and HNO3? HCl and HNO3 etc. show acidic character in aqueous solutions. Why? Because this produces the acids HCl and HNO3 acids, right now. So acid HCl reacts with water, that is aqueous. They told about aqueous, right now. This in aqueous solution it will produce H3O plus and Cl minus. That means production of hydrogen ion. Production of hydrogen ions. Because of these hydrogen ions, that means acid produces hydrogen ions. While solution of compounds like alcohols and glucose do not show acidic in nature. So acidic character does not shows by the alcohols and glucose. Why? Because this glucose cannot get ionized. Glucose and alcohol cannot get ionized. In this HCl, H plus ions are there, right now. So in aqueous, HCl and HNO3 produces H plus ion. This alcohol and glucose cannot produce H plus ion. That's why this does not show the acidic characters. Okay. The next, why does an aqueous solution of a acid conducts electricity? This is the similar to the first question. So please remember, just carefully observe. Aqueous solution. Aqueous means H2O. Right now, H2O is I am taking this is aqueous solutions. Why? In which acid? When acid reacts with water, it produces H plus ions. Right now, when acid reacts with water, it produces H plus ion. That is H3O plus. So when ions are increased, when acids mix with water, ions will produce these ions. Okay, ions are responsible for the conduction of electricity. Movement of ions we call as electricity. These ions carries the electricity. Okay. The next, why does dry HCl gas not change the color of the dry litmus paper? This is the very important concept. Please give some interest to this question. So dry HCl is there. Dry HCl, that means this is non-aqueous HCl. In only acids, only in water they can produce hydrogen ions as H3O plus. In the last class I told about this. The hydrogen ions cannot exist alone. They always combines with the water. In dry HCl, where is the water? There is no water in dry HCl. That's why the hydrogen ions, that means this litmus paper color is doesn't change. Dry litmus paper cannot change the color. But when you use the wet litmus paper, in wet litmus paper contains water molecules, right now. In that water molecules, this HCl reacts with water molecule, produces hydrogen ion. That means hydronium ion. So then only they change the color. When you use the dry HCl and a dry litmus paper, there is no change of color in litmus papers. Next, fourth question. On diluting an acid, why is it recommended that acid should be added to water and not to water to the acid? I already told about in this last class. Okay, Nama. So you have to add acid to water on dilution. Why we follow the same procedure? Why not water is added to the acid? This is wrong method. Okay, Rama? Because of this addition of acid to water is a exothermic reaction. Which type reaction? It is a exothermic reaction. Exothermic means it produces or it releases so much amount of heat. That's why it splashes, and it can burns, and also the containers of the acid and beaker acids or of water, it will be breaking chances. That's why you have to follow this method, first method, that is you have to add acid to water, not for water to acid. Okay, Nama? Next, fifth question. How is the concentration of the hydronium ion? Hydronium ion means the symbol of hydronium ion is H3O plus hydronium ion. So the fifth question tells about how is the concentration of hydronium ions affected when a solution of an acid is diluted. So we have this acid, a solution is there. In that solution, so H3O plus is there. H3O plus ions are there. I am going to add more amount. That means when a solution of acid is diluted. Diluted means addition of more amount of water. Right now. So if more amount of water means diluted means we have a more amount of H plus ions. That means the H3O plus ions. That means hydronium ions are increased. Hydronium ions concentration is increased. This symbol are increased. Why? Because this H plus ions reacts with water, it will produce hydronium ions more. That's why this affected. Yes, of course, this H plus ion concentration is OH minus ion concentration. Hydronium means H plus ion. So H plus ion concentration is increases by adding or by diluting. Okay, now next, sixth question. How is the concentration of oxide ions? Hydroxide ions. Hydroxide means OH minus ion concentration. When excess of bases dissolve in a sodium hydroxide, solution of sodium hydroxide. Now we have a solution sodium hydroxide, NaOH solution is there. Okay, Rama? For this I am going to add dissolve the bases, more amount of bases I am going to dissolve. So that means OH minus ions are increased. That means this reaches a saturation point. That means we have more number of OH minus ions. That means already OH minus ions are present in these solutions. When you add more amount of bases reacts with the water. Already NaOH solution. NaOH solution means this is the aqueous solution of NaOH. Aqueous means the NaOH pellets, sodium hydroxide pellets reacts with mix with the water. Okay, now here also OH minus is there, and from the addition of bases we also produces the OH minus ion. That means increase the concentration of this OH minus ion, but actually what happens, the saturation point reaches. That means more charge of negative charge. That means there is unaffected. More negative charge means unaffected. So the concentration of OH minus is unaffected. Okay. This is the completion of all the exercise questions what I covered from the last topic. Okay. In the last class all we discussed in the same points. Okay. In the next class we will discuss about the how strong are acids or bases solutions. Okay. Thank you.